All right. So here we go. First time, you'll create a matrix for this. And we got ball, bats, gloves. And then if you could enter that into your calculator, I'll let you do that now. And here's B. Enter this into your calculator as well as matrix B. And now we're going to multiply them together. Now, like I said before, it's very important that this stood for balls, bats, gloves, and this stands for balls, bats, gloves in that exact same order. The 1 stood for cost. That was dollars. What did the 4 stand for? It's the different stores, right? The 4 was P, Q, R, and S. So when we multiply A times B, we're going to get a matrix that is going to be a 4 by 1. It's going to have P, Q, R, and S here in that 4 by 1. And it's going to have our total cost there. Now, you could have, using old math, so if we get out of here, I'm going to do matrix A, second matrix A times matrix B. Boom, there's an answer. 3,100. Wow. $3,110, 4,005, 2,810, and 2,500. If we go back to the first question, right? How would you do this before? You would have done store P, 70 times 8, plus 30 times 30, plus 75 times 22, and added them all up to find a total cost. You would have done that for every single store. It's not hard math to figure out what the total cost would have been for every single store. But the matrix and the matrix multiplication lets us do it really quickly. And by looking at what the things stand for, we can see, oh, these two are the same. So when I multiply them, I'm going to get the cost for P, Q, R, and S. And you can see what the answer matrix is going to be right away. And it's one push of the button on your calculator, and it gets all the calculations done. So that's sort of the power of matrix multiplication. All right, we noticed we made a mistake when we typed this one in. Should have been 2505. All right, part D. Oh, another thing I want to show you is you've got this answer by doing A times B, right? We want to call that matrix C. Instead of having to type that all in, you can hit your store button and then go second matrix and go down to C and push enter, and boom, it'll put that into C for you. So if you're getting charged 2% per item, does that make sense that that's going to be 2% on the total thing? Okay. Now, does it make sense that D could equal 1.02 times by matrix C? Because if you times by 1.02, that would be a 2% adding to that. And so now, since we've stored matrix C in our calculator, we can go 1.02 times by second matrix C. And we have our values for matrix D. So that's going to include the shipping charge. So I'm going to store this answer as matrix D. And that gets put into my calculator as well. Probably Riley. Riley tends to do those big outbursts in the hallway. Well, that's the name of the company. Well, did we not figure that out to be matrix D? Is that not what the total is in matrix D? We just have to write it out in here. Yeah. If you want to just, it's the same. We put the answer in D, right? Store POs, QOs, ROs, and SOs. $31.72.20, $255.5.10, $28.66.20, and $255.0. So that's what the total amount that each store owes. Sometimes what you could do here is you could just find the shipping charge by doing times 0.02, which would just be the shipping charge, and then you could add it to the matrix before, but timesing by 1.02 is quicker. Now, how do you add them all together? What kind of matrix multiplication could you do to add them all together? You could just add them all together, but is there, I have a matrix D, which is how big? D is a 4 by 1. Could times it by a 1 by 4 in front. And as long as your 1 by 4 look like this, with all ones, because this would be, and then you would get, it would add it all up for you, if you wanted to. For this one, I think I would just maybe just add them up. It's not. But this would allow you, if all of a sudden, because this would be P, Q, R, S, all of a sudden Q phones and says, we would like to double our order. Then you could put a 2 in for the P and then multiply by that and find out what the total would be. Anyways, you get a 1 by 1. This is a total order here. I'll put the T there. Total cost or total dollars would be, Stephen's going to have it in a second. Oh, he's.
I'm on it, boys. Everyone's a race.
Oh, Connor, you could. I spent last class putting the diagnostic on every single calculator, so they're all ready to go. 10,925. I can't be there though. I could. I tried to.
I'm not too sure about the 10,000.
If we're adding,
Calculator doesn't lie.
I don't know. I mean,
that does look like it should be around 10,000 if you had those all up. All right. 11,000. Uh-oh. Here we go. 11,000 what?
11,143. I agree with Richard. I agree with me too.
Oh, maybe used C instead of D. When you.
that's when I got my 6 by 4.
Okay. So there we go. There is the final one. And here is